Welcome. So we are live again. Hope you are all enjoying the tutorials and a good week. And we are not added any tutorials, video tutorials, but we have added some blog post yesterday and today also some HTML area we are working on that. So basic HTML for our browsers and all. So what works? There also we are changing, updating some pages. So since we are focusing on the Kinter, we'll focus on our Python Kinter libraries and all. So friends, regularly 7:30 we are joining and coming online to discuss with you all about tutorials, whatever we are adding or planning to add, and what you have updated. All this we will discuss. So friends, this is mostly we are focusing on Python, Kinter, Pandas, data analytics, NumPy and all Python, and similarly for the web development area also PHP, MySQL, SQLite, JavaScript, HTML, all these areas we are focusing. And you are always welcome to join at 7:30 Indian Standard Time in the evening hours for a discussion for 10 minutes. Tell your friends also to join. So this will be useful for you for your projects, your working and learning programming. And we regularly update our tutorials also. So video tutorials, blog posts, you can watch them, you can watch the videos, you can read the blogs, give your feedbacks also. So accordingly we are based on your feedbacks also, we are modifying our content and all. So you can help us. So this interaction will help all of us for our learning purpose and all. Friends, let others join, and my request is please like our tutorials, like this session also, and post your questions and ideas also. Friends, yesterday I was telling you about the ttkboostrap check button. This is what for the last so many days we are continuing. I think last 5-10 days we are continuing on ttkboostrap. Now we'll see about the check buttons, but yesterday we discussed about the basics of check buttons. I will take you to the blog post where the check button is integrated with the database. So before that, how to study that blog, take down, copy the code and all, learn it in your system. That's what we will be discussing. Let me just take you first to the blog post where it is. It's here. Okay friends, this is the blog post. You can just, this URL is there in the description. You can request you to visit this page. So this address is there. Now this is a little long also, but anyway mostly code part is there. So what we did is we have just divided into 4 parts. So part 1, how this check button, because these check buttons are created dynamically. So you may ask what is the dynamic, because we don't know how many check buttons will come. So you cannot hard code checkbox 1, checkbox 2, check like that, you can't do, because these are supposed to be based on the number of data or rows we have to display. That's we'll decide now. So dynamically this checkbox has to be created. We'll see that. So first part we just explained about that. So for that, instead of taking directly from the from a database, we had used a dictionary to store our data. So it's a hard coded, and from the dictionary, based on the dictionary values, we a number of elements in there. So we have created the check buttons. In the part 2, we'll remove the dictionary. Instead of dictionary, we'll take the data from a SQLite database. So once you are taking from a SQLite, note that towards the end we'll discuss about MySQL also. Okay, in the code is, sample code is on SQLite database. So once the data is taken, then user can update it. Once they update it, the database should also get update. So if somebody's status I am changing, so the database should update. That is part 2. Part 3, we add another button who, by operating a single button, you can check all or uncheck all. Say everything you want to check in one go instead of one by one doing, that you can do. Part 4, we have just discussed how you, suppose you want to use MySQL database, how you will do it. So let's start with the understanding the part 1. So you read this content. Here we have written it that this is created dynamically. So the key point here is, see, this is the code what is for the using a dictionary. You can copy this code, read this dictionary. This is a student dictionary is there. keys are 1 2 3 4 5 and name, and status is true or false. True means it is fees is paid. It is actually a paid or unpaid, that is the status. This column is true or false. So based on that, first one true, second false, true, false, like that. So our checkbox should read this data and remain check or unchecked based on this data. So this is dynamic. Say I want to if I'll add the 6th record, automatically the check button also there will be 6th check button, because these check buttons are created within a loop. So this loop plays the most important role. So what happens here, you can see it rotates, it uses the student items, means the item will take the dictionary any key values, create a iterator by using the enumerator function. This is a built-in function which creates a iterators for that. So it loop through, and this format will get it. So we'll take the, note this this one, and here also ID, then name, then status, and because it adds a index, so this first one will have a row of 0. Actually that's what we are using as a row only. So next one is the first one. Suppose this particular one is taken, student ID will be 1, name will be Alisa, and it is true, but the row will take the value 0, and this indices is added by this particular function. You can read that, the links are all there, whatever function details you want, you can click that and go there. So friends, once this loop is there, inside the loop check button is created. You can see that. Now let us just copy this code, come to our Visual Studio Code. Here actually I just copied and pasted it here, just paste it here. So here is the same code. Let me just give little more space here. Fine. So this is the code, here is the dictionary, all this, and this is the loop. So based on this loop, it loops through the all the items one by one by one. See this for loop, this loop number of 5 times it will iterate, or it will loop through 5 times. So create it. Now to understand how the row is starts from 0, because this row, the index is added by enumerator. You can read more about that. Now let's come, this is a label. So this student ID is the label. Now let me just run it once, so you can have a good window will tell you about. Here it is. Just see, this is all the names are taken from here. You can see name, and based on the payment status is true or false, so these check buttons are checked. See, the first one is true, so check button is checked. Next one is false, next one is true, false, true. So based on this status, the check buttons are taken the initial default value. Now I can change it also, but no problem. Once I change it, I will get a console, because dictionary I am not going to update. In the next part, when you see the database will update it. So fine. So now let's come down. See that once this this switch is, or the checkbox is checked or unchecked, here is the command. This line number 39, you can see this is a command. It calls lambda student and toggle status function it calls. Got it? Now what I am doing, this just is doing only printing the what's the current status unchanged, because right now nothing to be done. In the next part, we'll see how database will be updating with this function. Now what this function does is, it changes the, it carries the student ID. So student ID is passed as a argument or a parameter. You see the S value is student ID. Inside the loop, this takes one, first loop 1, second loop 2, third loop 3, like that. So if you are updating the third check button, then the student ID will carry the value 3. That is the main. And this you can see it, the status also it carries here. So each time a button is created within the loop, it carries its own student ID, and it carries the status also. So this is passed. Now once this is passed, read this particular line. This line, what it comes with a not. Not means if it is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make it true. So it updates the status. This particular our student dictionary status, and that's what, because already it is changed. So and that value I am just printing it, what is the ID and all. You can just see that here. Let me just move up a bit. Yeah, here is our application. You just watch it. Charlie is unpaid. Now I will make it paid again. It is paid. This is just this printing job it does. Now this name, the last one unpaid. Now I can make it paid also. I can make somebody unpaid. Fine. This only printing in the console. You entirely this source code you just copy and use it in your system. Let me. So friends, just let us see how this. Yeah, Namaste Pratik. So friends, that's the first part of it. But I have not so far started how it is integrated to the database. That's second part. Though in the blog you can see that. Tomorrow we'll see that, because this I don't want to rush it through all the things. So you just see this. The most important part is. Sorry, wait. I'll just take you to the blog again. Anyway, this URL is there in the description. Just copy it, land it this page, and see every description is there. There one more line you will get it. I will after this you will get it. That tells the importance of this particular for loop. This is the this for loop is the main key, because this based on the number of items you have in the dictionary, it creates the check buttons. Okay, the same code you can directly copy it from here. You can read it from here or copy it. Now the details are there, and you can see you can just move up. Here you see part 2 is integrating with the database, and the part 3 is, suppose you have all the check buttons one by one, you instead of you modifying one. So here there are 4 5, no problem, but say you have 50 60 are there one by one. You want everybody has paid the fees, so you just want to have a single button which will check all or uncheck all, it will do. Okay, then what you can do is, if it is a MySQL, actually intentionally we have used SQLite database. So once you have a SQLite database, switching over to MySQL or SQLite is very easy. So that we'll discuss more on that. So friends, that's okay. I am sorry, I have not shown you the blog. See the blog now. Here it is, the page. You just see the 4 parts are there. 4 parts. You can just see the last part. You will see how you can switch over between database and all. First part you just see first, focus more on the first part, so you will know how dynamically check buttons are created. The code is not a very long one, this much only code the first part is. Just copy this code here, starting from here up to this point. Just copy this code, run it. It doesn't require anything at there. In the second part, tomorrow we'll see how you will create a SQLite database, how you will create the database, then the app, because some sample data is required. So for that part is also there below. You can run that. Once you run it, it will create the database. Then from that database, our check buttons will do. That you will also study that one. So friend, this is in the real project or in a real life situation. You won't get it simply like a dictionary and all. This dictionary you may be getting it from a database, from your some other say from your college account, from hostel account, in your office account. Some data will come from a database. In a real life, it's not that simple. It will be always a behind that a database will be there. It can be even a Excel or a CSV file, a Excel file also. So if you understand this concept, you can just read it and pass the data to your Kinter application. So that is the main purpose here. Friends, let me just come here. Yeah, friend, that's the idea to explain to you. And note, I have to create the tutorial and upload it also. I will definitely do that in the next. Little busy now for some personal work, so I will be available in shortly and create the database and all. So I will create database for you, and I will upload the tutorial also. Friends, let me just come back here. Sorry friends, this is the. Let me just close this application. Okay, this is the our application. I am not showing you the demo of the SQLite database part, or you can just if you have time tomorrow before we start the session, you can just visit this page. Visit this page here. Scroll down. Here there are 2 parts are there. So in the 2 parts, you can see in the first part. you can see this is the one where you will create the our database table with some sample data. Here it is. Student, this will create the table. You run this and you don't forget to set the path. And here we are not using the OS module to set it in the same directory. You change it, you can keep in the same directory where your application will be, but take care of this path. Then below that, here is the application. So application, there is nothing. Instead of taking it from a dictionary, we are taking it from a database. That's all. Okay, so that should not be a it will be easy for you. I don't think any confusion. Here it is. But here one thing is, there is one more function. Say initially fetch students. So this is the connection, execute, result, fetch all. So everything is taken from the database and result is collected from the database. Now, and accordingly, when you open the app, this function will pull the apps and set it accordingly. So, but here once you change anything, again it will call the another function here, and this function will update it. See here, a query to update the record in the database. So that is the new addition in this. This we'll discuss in detail tomorrow. That's all, friends. So today we'll stop here. Hope you can hope you will continue with tomorrow. You will join us. Please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe also to our channel and all. We will continue with our Python Kinter and all. We are continuing. We will be doing more exercises on this TTK Bootstrap. I think good amount of time, or last I think 5-6 days, more than a week time we are given on TTK Bootstrap. So I hope this is clear to you. Watch the videos. This particular one I will create the video, and within 1 or 2 days I will upload it. And friends, once again I will request you, please subscribe also to our channel and press the bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we are adding tutorial or we are coming online also. And if you have any idea, any suggestion, any questions, feel free to post it here or below our tutorials, and give us the feedbacks about how you feel about the tutorials, whether it is too easy or too complex or need bit more explanation and all. Give us the feedbacks and all. So anyway, I am coming every day at 7:30 evening hours Indian Standard Time. I am coming online to discuss about this, and request you all, please tell your friends also to join. We can discuss for 10 minutes. Today it is almost 15 minutes now. So we'll stop here. Hope you will continue with your learning on the check buttons and all, and understand how it is integrated to the database. That will be quite useful to all of you. So that's all, friend. If no question is there, then we'll stop the session for today, and again tomorrow we'll start. Hopefully you all will join at 7:30. Thank you, friends. Thank you for watching.